name is Rick Passek, the FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we'll be doing a small little spider pattern. I was out with a buddy of mine up in central Alberta on the weekend, on the long weekend, May long weekend, and we did well, but we did quite a few throat samples and came up that they all had small black chironomids in them and small black snails, beetles, and tiny little back swimmers too, but all black. And we did really well with black. I did okay with chironomids. I did okay with small black leeches. But then my buddy threw on a small spider type pattern and bang, 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 one after another. It was great. So I had something similar. I did okay, but not as well as he did. So this is kind of similar to his pattern, but not. So so I thought I'd tie this up for you guys. So here we go. I'll switch over. So I'm going to turn this light on too. So today we'll be tying a, I'll show you a few different versions of it, but basically, it's going to be there. It's just a, like I said, it's just a small little spider. There's just a smaller version of it, and then there's a copper-bodied version of it, and that's what I'm going to be tying right now, is the copper-bodied. So, in the vise, we've got a Hook-Hends BL599 in a size 12. I tied a 12 and a 14. I know we were really having good success on the 14s. Semperfli Nanosilk in black for the tying thread. Some hen, whoop, there we go. Hen for the hackle. And then for the body, it's just going to be some Semperfli Holo tinsel in a copper, and then a little bit of silver wire as well. So let's get her started. Fairly simple pattern. You want to keep it fairly sparse. You know, your body can be just, you know, just regular. It's just going to have Holo tinsel as a body with a little bit of silver rib. But you definitely want to keep the wing portion fairly sparse. So there's two different ways you can do it. You can tie it, like I said, like there's that one there where that's got quite a few feathers, barbules, and then there's that one where I stripped off one side, right? So yeah, so we tied. I'll talk while I'm doing this. We had this. We used a team of flies here in Alberta, so we were able to have 3 flies, and I know he was doing really well with, Gary was doing really well with a washing line technique. So I think he had a fab on the end, and then he had this in the center, if I remember correct. This was his center fly, and then his top fly was, I think it was a minnow pattern if I remember, but it doesn't really matter. But this was the center fly on a team of 3. On a washing line technique, and it was a really slow retrieve, figure 8, and then at the end of the figure 8 he just he did that for a while and then he paused, and normally almost all of his hits were on the pause, on that drop. So I just tied in some the Holo flash, some of the silver rib. Just gonna bring this Holo flash forward, touching / overlapping wraps. You don't want to see any of the black underbody. Okay, stop about there. I'm going to lock that in. Lock that in. A couple in front. Turn my vise so I can see. Nip off the excess. Then I'm going to take my silver rib and I'm going to counter wrap it. One near the back, and then just counter wrap. This does give a little bit of that segmentation, but it more than anything, it's just to help keep that Holo tinsel when the fish bite. It just helps keep it together. So a couple 2, 3 in the back, couple 2, 3 in the front. Helicopter. I'm going to do a whip finish here at this point. There's a reason behind that. Just going to do a bit of a whip finish. I'm going to nip this off Because what I normally do here is I will tie it to this point, and then I will put in some resin, and then I gotta let it dry. So I did that ahead of time. This time I actually thought about it, and I did it ahead of time. So quite often I'll forget, and then when I'm doing these videos, and I'm trying to put resin on when I've got the wing, and that's not very good. So yeah, so just a real thin coat of resin, or Sally Hansen's or crazy glue or whatever you want, and then let it dry. Okay, and this won't be perfectly dry. That's why I pre-tied the other one, because I like putting after I've done my curing, I like putting a coat of Sally Hansen's on it, because Sally Hansen's I find just helps make it not sticky, right? So I just noticed I've got a little thingamaboober hanging off here. I'm gonna pull that off. I think I got it. Yeah, there we go. So there's that. And then I'll coat that with some Sally Hansen. So the magic of video. Boom! Look, it's all dry. So make sure that's in focus. I'm gonna grab my tying thread again. So I'll do a bunch up to this point, and then I'll go back and I will actually gonna wax that, and then I'll finish them all off, right, and get them all coated, and then I'll come back and retie on my tying thread. The front here, nip off. So now I've prepared a feather. I don't want too much, so I've just prepared a feather a little bit, cut a little triangle in the front there. Just gonna lay this on my side here. Just catch that in. Try to make sure it's not in your eye. If it is, you can burn it off a little bit later with a lighter. If it is, but mine's not too bad there. So I'm just gonna do just a couple of half hitches there. Actually, it looks like this wasn't even all the way dry. You can see that, right? I just did it about 15 minutes ago, so the Sally Hansen's might not have been dry yet, but that's okay, whatever. Not a huge deal. You guys will get the gist of it. So now just make sure you sweep all these feathers back as much as you can, and then wrap, and one behind the other, right? So again, sweep these back, one behind the other, come back up again, and it depends on how thick you want it. Like I said, this weekend the key was sparse. So this would be borderline too much for this past weekend, but you want it. They definitely wanted sparse. I can tell you that. We ended up picking some fibers off even out in of some of them, right? Because they wanted them so sparse. So yeah. So you just wind that on, give that a little bit of a whip finish. Now I could have put a little dab of head cement on right there onto the thread, but I didn't. So I will just put a dab on right now. If I can find, there's my head cement. I'm just gonna put just a drop of head cement right on the front there, just to finish this off. Hold everything back. Make sure you don't have too much on there. And the slightest little drop of head cement. And then take my bodkin and just make sure I don't have any. Yeah, see, that's the Sally Hansen's. I didn't let this dry long enough, but that's okay. I wanted to get this video done for you guys, so that's the finished product right there. That's it. Head's a little messy on this one, but yeah. So just tie him up like that. Like I said, I tie him up in the silver body as well. That's the one that was working on the weekend, was the silver body, but I do them in a copper body, silver body, blue body, green body. I do them in several different colors just so I'm ready, right? Yeah, it's a fairly simple pattern to tie, and a really, really simple pattern to fish. When these get wet, they kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. They kind of go leechy, but also kind of like a chironomid. But so when this is wet, this is the little sparse one that I tied. I'll just take that off there and show you. This is the sparse one that I tied, and I got it wet there. So yeah, when that's it, right? It's a simple pattern, but tell you, that was the key this weekend. And I know quite often these little spider type patterns work really well. So yeah, give that one a shot, guys. If you like that video, give her a thumbs up for me. And if you subscribed already, thank you very much. If you haven't, smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any further videos. And please leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of the video. Tell me how you would fish it. Let me know what you want to see in the future. What kind of flies you want me to tie. What you've been having troubles with. You know, just ask some questions and I'll see what I can do. Alrighty, guys. Tie lines.